Hey you guys, Starlight Burst 98 here, and wanted to do this over again because I wanted my because like I was filming this Amazement deck profile and then I was like explaining the cards and then just doing like this the whole time, and I don't feel like that's fair to the viewer. To be honest, like he wants like a clearer picture. He wants like good I don't want to let people down for the most part. But without further ado, let's get into the deck, show you a little bit what the deck can do, and talk about the cards a little bit. So we have three Amazement Assistant Comica. Very, very good overall. When this card is normal summon, you get to set an Attraction Trap directly from the deck. And if your Attraction Trap is equipped to another monster on the field, you get to equip that equip card to a different monster on the field. So if it's equipped to our opponent's monster, we get to equip it to our monster, and vice versa. So very, very handy, very, very useful overall. We have two Amazement Assistant Delia. Very, very good card. This acts a little different than Comica. So you reveal one Attraction Trap, special summon this card, and then you get rid of a set card or one card in your hand, and you set another Attraction Trap directly from the deck. So very, very good to help you set cards. Next, for the main boss monster of the deck, we have three Amazement Attendant Arlecchino. The main guy. Yeah, dude, I love this card. So a little bit about what the monster can do. So if you activate any trap, so your opponent's turn or your turn, you can special summon this card. And then when your opponent normal or special summons, you get to equip an Attraction Trap directly from your deck to that monster. So very, very good, because we have a lot of screwy, fucky, gimmicky traps that are perfectly tailored for just that. So that is perfect. And then on your main phase, you can banish any number of Attraction Traps from your graveyard, target the same amount your opponent controls, and destroy them. So very, very nasty. Very, very good. Love this card. Next, we have the new card, Abomination. Very, very good card to get you to your family faces, because before you didn't have a good way to get into family faces except to thrust into it. So this is very helpful. So when you control a Amazement monster, you special summon this card. Then if your opponent has a monster, this is a quick effect by the way, you turn that monster's attack to 0, shuffle this card into the deck, and then you get the Arlecchino out on the field. And then when your opponent normal or special summons, the Arlecchino effect goes off, equipping another card to it. So basically, that's how the deck goes off for the most part. We have three copies of Wannabe. Very, very good card. Going first or second. So you're using the amount of spell and trap card zones that your opponent isn't using. You reveal cards equal to the number from the top of your deck. You set one card from your deck, and then put the rest on the bottom in any order. Very, very good card, especially with the Comica and the Delia. We are setting so much cards, and it's just endless advantage. Same thing with the Heavenly Prison, but this is more back rub protection. This is basically saying, no, you cannot destroy my cards by card effect. And it's busted, dude, honestly. So even if you activate a set trap while this card is revealed, you special summon this card, and you set a trap directly from the deck. So it's incredibly busted. Another body on field, additionally. So there's that. All right, so we're going to get into the main attraction traps. So Viking Vortex, Rapid Racing, and then Wonder Wheel. So all of these have the effect. Oh, gee whiz. Hold on, guys. I meant to go into the spell cards first. Spells and then traps. My bad. Anyway. One Call by the Grave, three Extrav. Extrav is good in trap decks, is just because you want advantage, you want +2s. Don't feel like I need to explain that too much. And then this, I do have to explain a little bit much, because this goes along with the theme and the archetype and stuff like that. So this is very reactionary onto whose turn it is activated on, if you get me. And so a lot of your attraction traps will have the similar-esque effect, where you get a different effect on whose monster it is equipped to. So this gets a different effect on whose turn it's activated on. So if it's activated on my turn, I pay 100 life points. I add an Amazement card from my deck to my hand. If I activate it on my opponent's turn, I pay 800 life points. I set one attraction trap directly from the deck. Incredibly good, an in-archetype trap trick for the most part. Brilliant game design for the most part. Love this card. This deck really is dirt cheap. I definitely recommend picking it up. So Viking Vortex, Rapid Racing, and Wonder Wheel. So very standard in my opinion. So this one changed the equip monster to the end of the battle phase, negate an attack, and if it's equipped to your opponent's monster, when your opponent activates that monster's effect, you return it to the hand. They run into it sometimes, but it's rare. And then Rapid Racing. Rapid Racing is hilarious, dude, because if it's equipped to your monster, you target one card in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. Incredibly broken. It's like Called by the Grave or DD Crow. Incredibly broken overall. And then if it's equipped to your opponent's monster, it becomes level 1 and you change its battle position. So that really, if they're playing a Synchro or Xyz deck, that really stops their plays if you know how to target it. And then Wonder Wheel. We have a lot of cards in our hand sometimes, not favorable hands sometimes. So we wanted to put in the Wonder Wheel because you draw one card, put one card on the bottom of the deck, and then the Shield and Sword ability. So because sometimes when you have Arlecchino on the field and we can't beat over stuff sometimes. So that's why this is helpful because it's a very shield and sword type of effect where it changes that opponent's attack and defense. So overall, very good, very helpful, helps you beat over stuff. So next we have two Amazement Family Faces. This card is extremely convenient to get to now that we have the Abomination. So you would special summon the Abomination, add this to your hand or your graveyard. Very, very good overall. This is basically saying you're going to have fun at Disneyland or else. So I'll show you how this card works. So you would equip an attraction trap to your opponent's monster, activate Family Faces, and then take control of that monster. It becomes an Amazement monster, gains 500 attack, but you can't activate its effects. So that's the only thing there. Still very good overall. That's the main strategy of this deck. It's a stat steal, change of heart type of degeneracy type of deck, if you kind of get where I'm going with that. But without further ado, 3 Cycle Coaster. Very, very good card. This is your main spell and trap card removal when it's equipped to your monster. So you equip it to your monster, target one spell or trap on the field, send it to the graveyard. And if it's equipped to your opponent's monster, we get to add an Amazement monster from our deck to our hand. So very, very good searcher, very, very good spell and trap removal overall. So if you'll think of Cycle Coaster as the spell and trap removal, think of this as the monster removal. So Thrill Train. Thrill Train's extremely good because it banishes a monster to the end phase if it's equipped to your opponent's monster. And so most of the time we are using the Arlecchino effect to get that off when your opponent normal or special summons. So we can equip this card to it directly from the deck. But keep in mind the equip card logic. When, say if this card is equipped to it, when this monster leaves the field because it is equipped with a equip card, it has to go to the graveyard and then you send the equip card with it. A little bit of a downside with this deck. So if your opponent knows what they're doing, they'll be like, oh, I'll link it off. But to be honest, that's happened to me before and it just doesn't matter. It's just, you go off anyway. It's so broken. So if it's equipped to your opponent's monster, or my bad, your monster, then your opponent chooses one attraction trap from your graveyard, you set it to your field. So very, very good recycling tool as well. Double utility. Next, we have the best card overall, 3 Amazement Horror House. Horror House is amazing. It's like Book of Moon and Infinite Impermanence. So when this is equipped to your monster, you can negate one effect monster your opponent controls. Very, very good. And then if it's equipped to your opponent's monster, you can change it to face down defense position. So very, very good with cards like Family Faces, because if we flip their monster face down, we can activate Family Faces, flip face up on our turn, and then swing for game. So very, very good overall. So next for the generic trap stuff of that nature, we have 3 Dogmatic Punishment, and then 3 Dimension Ground, and then 1 Deck Virus. Dogmatic is just good. It's always good. I don't know what you would run in place of it, but very good card. This is because we have the Arlecchino, we have the Abomination, the Lord of Heavenly Prison, so it's very easy to tribute off dark monsters to basically stop them for the most part. I've thought of the other deck viruses so far, but I just want I want it to be unfair, basically. Different Dimension Ground, very, very good. When you activate this, they do not want to play. They just pass. It's hilarious. All right, so getting onto the extra deck here, guys. We have one Masquerena, one Donner for Hire. I wanted to run this over Cerberus, and then Phoenix, Unicorn, Blackluster Soldier, Access Code Talker. Donner's a little bit more useful than the Cerberus because you tribute it instead of discarding, and I like that because I want to keep my resources. And then Blackluster Soldier has been putting in that work for me, to be honest, because we do have a lot of level 7 or higher monsters, Lord of Heavenly Prison, Abomination, etc., etc. So when we make this using them, right, this can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects, and you get so many effects and usefulness off this. It's unreal. Yeah, I loved running this card. And then Access to Code Talker is your main beat stick guy. Not much to go into there. And then Unicorn just basically does what Cerberus does, but better. And then the Masquerena gets into the Unicorn mostly. That's it for the links. I wanted to run links this time because I ran pure punishment targets for the last Amazement deck that I took. And it didn't, like, I wish I could go into stuff for the most part. So that's why. Don't pay attention to the extra deck. I'm just showing you generally good stuff that you could run. So 3 Entes, then 3 Skull Knight, or no, 2 Skull Knight, my bad. Popping 2 is very powerful, obviously, and then Skull Knight, you have to wait for the pop, but still very, very, very good. So Malong, Adagnister, Omega, Packbit. Packbit's super good. I did accidentally use it against one deck one time, and they made the what is it? The Snake Eyes fusion that uses the spell and trap cards as material that are monsters. So yeah, I gave him more fuel for that using this one time accidentally. It was funny, but it's very, very good overall, to be honest. And then more decks are tailored to banish your cards, in other words, so the Omega does come up. The Adagnister, you do have to wait for this, but the shuffling ending card into the deck, you cannot beat it. And then the Malong, this is more instant punishment gratification. For the most part, yeah, it just returns a card from your opponent's hand or field to the hand. When Exciton Knight, when Silent Honor Arc, when Dark Rebellion. Exciton Knight's acting like a Zeus, so that's why we're not playing Zeus. And then if you would think of this as a mini Hope Harbinger, except it's equipping monster or attaching to monsters that are special summoned on your opponent's field. So that's extremely evil, very, very, very good. And then Dark Rebellion. This cuts anything your opponent has in half. Beat over it, swing for game. Aggregator's just too good not to use. It's just target negation. Very, very good. And then Typhon Sky Crisis. A lot of times you will go second and your opponent already has like 2 monsters on board, so you just normal summon, make this, and then yeah, it makes the going second strategy just so much better. But without further ado, let me know what you guys think. See you later.